Less than 3 weeks to the first game of the 22nd FIFA World Cup coming up in Qatar. And I can officially, authoritatively tell you that the numbers of high-profile injuries keeps racking up. This is not a trend the players, managers, and fans world over, like me, we don't want this, but it is the price to pay for having this Mundial come up during the regular season. It's not funny. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fourth installment of another exciting and informative edition of our special Qatar 2022 World Cup countdown. Just in case you don't know, in case you're believing under the rock, Ayobiojo Ibrahim Adedoyin is my name, but you can call me Easy Baba number one. I'm not gonna fight you, but on this show, I don't call myself Easy Baba number one. I call myself Ibrahim Adinho because I'm in Brazilian. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time on the World Cup countdown, I don't run the show solo. I have the pleasure of having a very fantastic co-host with me in the person of Omolabake Raji, aka the Generous One.
I need to leave down that AK. Hi, Ibrahim.
How are you
I'm
doing?
not going to be doing the Dino. I won't do it. I will not be doing
You
that.
just did it. You said
I
I
won't
will
do
be
it.
the Dino. Is that how Ibrahim? I won't
My
be doing the
bad.
Dino.
It won't
That's
happen
Ibrahim
again. It
and
won't happen
Dino.
again. It won't happen again.
She knows it's still gonna happen. My name is Ibrahim Adinho. How's you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I mean, like you already mentioned, the fact that we're having the Mundial mid-season, we've been seeing the repercussions, we've been seeing the
Yeah,
consequences
a whole
before
lot.
the event actually even does happen, which the kind of high profile misses are going to be having. Oof,
It's
it's not what
much.
we want to see. I mean, for a lot of players, for footballers, a dream of theirs is to go to the World Cup,
Hundred
excel at it,
percent.
and
100%.
do their country proud, don that jersey, don that flag. So much enjoyment, so much energy, so much passion. And here, having to miss out on it, not because you're not good enough, not because you've not proved your mettle to get into the team, but because unfortunately injuries don't come with warning, and you have to, excuse and make way, and just have to work on you getting fit and getting back. It is very painful.
It is very painful, and that has been the story of the summer. That has been the story of the season. We've been having very high-profile cases of injuries, and before we get, I'm going to get to that at the end of the show because that I just want that to end the show because I don't want to start the show with that. I will be vexing. Well, it is what it is. It's football. We have to enjoy it, and we are not the one feeling the wrath. The players are the one feeling the wrath, and my heart's out. My heart goes out to them, but I still want to see them play. That's just how bad it is. I don't want to see them play.
I would love to. I mean, there are a couple of players I was looking forward to seeing them with their individual country,
Hmm.
and because we expect quality from them, we don't just expect it. They've delivered quality over time,
Yeah.
and they always deliver. They played on the biggest stage for years, over different mundials, over different World Cup years, and they always come with the goods. They deliver the action. They come, they come correct. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And having to see them out, I have a long list of people that I would love if we can just make the race or win the race against time and actually make it in time, which is going to be a pipe dream. But
That's bad. That's hard and that's harsh. That's just the world. It's not fair on everybody, but we take what we get, and this is what it
we
is.
live.
Life goes on. So just in case you've missed it, this is the fourth edition of our special show on the Qatar 2022 World Cup countdown. We've done the analysis of Group A, we've done the analysis of Group B and Group C. So on to the Group D, where we are right now. And this is the group that houses the reigning champions in France. So the rest of the teams are there, yeah, we have Denmark, we have Tunisia, and we have Australia. That it feels like just the names alone. Like I mentioned France, like I one, how do I put
A
it?
different world.
Different world, and the rest are going to be. Let's just do the analysis of it all. The reigning champions are also odds-on favourites to retain the trophy, with majority of the World Cup winning squad still active, minus a very few, and those few are I'll get to it. I'll get to it, and notable absentee for them this year has to be N'Golo Kante, who had the most interceptions, the most tackles, and the most possession won in the last World Cup triumph. And Paul Pogba, who had the most passes to the final third, most passes completion, and most running into the opponent's area. They are missing these two people. But we know the France. So I cannot say they are not going to be having their, how would I put it, their score depleted with quality, but they still have quality to shock it up. But that quality, is it going to, how would I put it? Is it going to, are they not, well, let me ask you like this. Are they going to feel um Kante and Paul Pogba's absence as much as they'll be feeling the presence of the likes of Tramini and Kamavinga, who are most likely players to
To
replace
replace
them?
them. Well, N'Golo Kante is a workhorse. He never gets tired. He always comes through. You see him for the Chelsea Football Club. When he's on, you know. When he's off, you also know. That is
Mm-hmm.
how well he marshals the midfield area. How much. And we saw a new Conte going off into the end of 2019-2020 season with the former manager now of Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel, seeing him having more forward forays. He tends to sit back and sit deep and shield his defense. He started going forward and he had tons of goals. He made, and that
Plenty.
was after the World Cup. That was after the last World Cup, like you mentioned. And 2018 World Cup, if you ask, every player came good for Didier Deschamps. He had
Yeah,
to, his
everyone
players
know.
came. They actually were there. They were present and they delivered the goods while it mattered. They had quite the high scoring scoreline. I mean, if you remember, most notably the semi final with Argentina
Mm-hmm.
and all of that stuff, and having to find the unlikeliest of goal scorers in Benjamin Pavard
Oh yeah.
getting the winner. But the point is that N'Golo Kante is a major side, is a major player in that France side, is an important player for them. I expect that the young lads coming into the side now for Tchouaméni, for Camavinga, they're having the
Mm-hmm.
time of their lives for Real Madrid.
True.
Camavinga going off to the end of last season. I am not a Madrid fan. I was looking at this guy like, bro, you're 19.
Yeah,
Like
and
there's
and it's been like he's 36. So.
the maturity in his game, the timing of his passes, the timing of his interception for the back to back comebacks that Real Madrid boasted of on their way to winning the Champions League last season. Camavinga was instrumental for
Yeah.
games he didn't start. He came in. They're having the big boys leave, and in front of you, maybe as an opposition player,
Yeah.
thinking, okay, who's this small league? Might watch it, and he actually did show the world what he's
It's
coming to
capable of,
offer.
yeah.
So I think they're going to miss them, but I also think that the young lads would do their best to fill the shoes. But for Paul Pogba, it was phenomenal for the France
Yeah.
national team last time out in the Mondial. He had a very good time in.
Yeah. Even getting a goal in the final.
He had a great season
Yeah.
that year. He had a great World Cup showing, and him being out, I don't think Deschamps is like, thank God. It can't be. Well, it's almost like he has to curse. He has to, a word I can't use while on air. It is that painful losing these guys. But Tremeni and Kamavinga as well, I think they are capable. I don't expect them to fill the shoes exactly. They're different players, and I think they're going to bring what makes them different to the team. And the France national team might be better for it.
Yeah, great analysis on the French national team. We are going to miss N'Golo Kante and Paul Labile Pogba, but that is not going to say that they are not going to give us constant in football because they have more than enough players to fill the void. Football is a game of luck, and we'll see where that goes. Just in case you don't know, Didier Deschamps is the manager of the French national team. He's French as well. This is the 10th year he's been in charge of the French national team, like 10 years. 10 years. So I feel that should be enough. How would I put it? That should be enough. These guys are the reigning champions. So the amount of training and cohesion they have had over the years boils down to the management as well as the other players. So it is what it is with the man. And the captain of the side is Hugo Lloris. Just in case you don't know who Hugo Lloris is, Hugo Lloris is the goalkeeper right now for Tottenham Hotspur. Is the fine boy goalkeeper. He's not a fine boy. I call him a fine man goalkeeper because he's kind of
He doesn't look his age
yeah,
though.
he
I mean,
doesn't,
he looks younger than
yeah,
he actually is.
yeah. And now players to watch. The last Mundial the French national team had. Let's leave the fact that he won the World Cup, right? They won the World Cup playing with a straight up nine in Olivier Giroud. And Olivier Giroud was super impressive in the World Cup. But one thing Giroud never had at that World Cup that was so funny. If you think this is what I'm about to say is funny or is feels like it's like go check it up. Olivier Giroud had no goal, no assist in all the games he played, and he played every game for them in the World Cup. 0 goals, 0 assists.
And yes, talking about the fact that he did not register a goal, that he did have an assist, for someone who did not see the game, for someone who did not see the France national team, you're like a striker. He was instrumental to
Exactly.
France winning that. For the Le Bleu, it was such an important part. I could remember, so we've seen Olivier Giroud at Arsenal, we saw him at Chelsea. We're seeing him right now at AC Milan.
Yeah.
He is that kind of striker that we have strikers like that, right? We have nine like that. And I think that's the thing about the evolution of football or seeing modern football. You see certain strikers who start their runs from the middle of the park. They they join in the midfield and somehow find their way in the attack like that.
Exactly.
You have certain strikers who are great, who one of their biggest strengths is to hold up play, and that is something that Olivier Giroud has in spades. So you see, the French national team, one of their selling points, or should I say, what they used to decimate their opposition last time out in the Mondial, was having more than enough pace. Olivier Giroud is not the fastest of players, but he had Kylian Mbappe. What he did was he gets hold on to the ball. Paul Pogba also isn't the fastest, but you have N'Golo Kante who can run ground for days.
True.
Olivier Giroud gets the ball, you play long, and which is quite something that Hugo Lloris knows how to deliver. Talking about the service, gets it long. Whoever is getting the first, second ball, you're going to see a blue shirt. If it gets into the possession of Olivier Giroud, it drops that down either through his head, you know he's a fantastic header of the ball,
Straight
or
up.
perhaps his chest. He gets that down, delivers it in, gets into the box. What it does is he's able to attract defenders to himself, which leaves more than enough room for Mbappe to roam. And you know how devious he is when he gets comfortable. We see him
Yeah.
do it for PSG all the time. He gets comfortable, finds a corner that you wonder, bro, did you measure that with a tape roll? And
True.
bam, it's into the back of the net. So I wouldn't say the fact that he did not get a goal was to his detriment. It would have been good if he did. It would have been great if he
Yeah.
got an
Yeah.
assist as well. But this is the part where when we've had the biggest of football coaches mention the fact that sometimes stats don't paint the true picture. And
True.
stats is very important in football. We talk about football, we talk about how many minutes you played, how many
How many
goals you
goals
got,
how many
how many assists, how many interceptions, the saves.
Exactly. Every
The
time.
numbers are very important. But there are certain players that their numbers do not, in any way, shape, or form, tell you or describe the impact they have in a side or in a team. So,
And that is the story of Olivier Giroud at the 2018 World Cup. Because I just said before, I said, like, I knew he had a fantastic World Cup. Because only if you did not watch it, though, you'll not be like, how will the striker not have a goal or assist? Come on. Olivier Giroud was massive for them during the World Cup. And what led me to say that is I'm trying to check the players to watch for the French national team. And I'm seeing the return of the king, the best football player in the world right now. Undisputed. Give it to him. Give him his flowers. He's deserved it. He's earned it. Karim Oluwafifehami Benzema.
not part of his name.
But if you want to translate that name,
Ibrahim did that.
I did. I had to do it. If I want to translate that name, Oluwafifehami, God showed me love. God showed him love because he waited this time. He beat it this
He
time.
did.
He's the oldest player in the history of the Ballon d'Or to win the award. He's the oldest best player in the world, and deservedly so, after having a very, very massive campaign for the Real Madrid Galacticos, as we have known them to be called, last season, getting to the La Liga, getting the Champions League, albeit scoring amazing and very, very, very important goals all the way. And I'm very, very glad I'm going to be seeing him back in the World Cup. So it is amazing. It's going to be an amazing outing for him. And I would like to mention the likes of the rest of the team. But if you want to say, okay, let's just pick 5 players to watch from the French national team, it's like we're shooting ourselves in the leg.
They have quality for days. They boast
Every
of
aspect.
stars plying their trade to the biggest clubs in the world. Clubs who are doing great, having great time right now
Hmm.
across the different league season. You're having players who are instrumental, who are starters wherever it is that they are, who have been able to prove the metal, and they will practically walk into almost any top side in Europe.
Any.
So you mentioned Karim Benzema. The return has to be a fantastic,
Yes,
fantastic one
so
for Didier Deschamps.
he returned on the last World Cup
Is
for
is
him.
is is looking like, I mean, Karim Benzema, and I know it's almost going to be a pipe dream. I know I'm in dreamland, but it would be nice. I would like to see him and Olivier Giroud and Kylian Mbappe in that starting lineup.
It's not happening.
Would I know,
It's
but
not
I would
happening.
love for that to happen.
One has to sit for it.
But
One
which
another.
ball?
Benzema.
Give
It's
me
either
what
a
I
Benzema
want.
or a Olivier
You
Giroud.
can do it, Didier Deschamps.
No,
We'll talk after the show. I'll call you.
the only time I see this happening is probably when they go down and they need a goal and they're piping up the attack. So probably they put Giroud after Benzema starts, or they put Benzema after Giroud
And
starts.
I mean, it's only quite interested,
Other than
yeah.
that, I
So
don't see.
for Karim Benzema, of course, which we do hope he is fit, he is
Yeah,
going to be ready in time for the World Cup. He is back, but we haven't seen him
he's been
yeah,
cautious.
firing and all, and I think that is just precautionary measure
Yeah.
for the World Cup. But Kylian Mbappe, great
Woo!
time right now,
Woo!
having a great Champions League season, having a
Kylian
great.
Adesomi. Continue,
What is this with these names? And also having a great time in the league
Yeah.
with his teammates. Lionel Messi seems rejuvenated. Neymar as well, like a
Yeah.
rebirth. We know those guys anyway. For World Cup here, they always change the kind of water they consume. It's always spring kind of water. Like they are always. And
Clean,
there's
always
this joke
fresh.
where I heard someone say, "How did Kylian Mbappe go from being 18 years old to 23?"
Like overnight.
It seems that way, right? But he has matured. He was that guy. He is still that guy. Young, relentless, pace for days. Um, Great. I mean, his presence in a forward line, you are going to feel the presence. As an opposition defender, you should hate to play against him. Because while you're thinking, "Oh, okay, he is here, my dear," you look up and
It's
he's in on
done.
goal. So
It's a
he
lot.
is that fantastic. Saliba as well.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal players generally right now, they seem to be able to do no wrong. They are having a great time, which I think is something that the decision should be thanking Mikel Arteta for. Like, I
Yeah.
see what you're doing. I really appreciate you. However, the conversation will be going. Saliba is having a really, really good time on Arsenal. It seems like a different man, right?
He's a different man.
Yeah,
He has been different since last season because he was massive for Southampton last season in the league.
and coming back, and
Massive.
the boy you've already mentioned, I still marvel at watching Camavinga play to play Eduardo.
Eduardo
Real Madrid are blessed. It's the way they are able to replace age,
and experience
experience, and
with
then bring in
talent.
youth and talent. It's just incredible. The young guys have come into that side and they've melded so well. You would almost ask how long ago they've been there. And they are fighting for their space, for their sport. And you know that. I mean, the old guys can go like, okay, I don't mind,
Mm-hmm.
handing over my shirt, even though none of those guys are ready to relinquish their shirt with the kind of performances we see them drop. Kamavinga is having a phenomenal time. Who else am I leaving now? Chouameni as well.
Aurelian.
He came into Real Madrid. I'm still having the part where, bro, you knew where you're supposed to come to. It was supposed to be England, but you chose Spain instead of that. I mean, it was looking like it was
I
coming to
don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Liverpool.
I
I mean,
don't blame
how
him.
would I blame him? But I'm not still happy about it.
Royalty came calling.
And Liverpool.
We are royalty,
I'm
but
going to brief.
levels
I
day.
will not be angry. But I mean, seeing him that way, uh, we knew that it was time for the experience in Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, Casemiro. The time, age. There's also the fact that certain clubs will be coming to call them. I mean, the same players that even when they're in their 30s,
Mm-hmm.
early or mid, you're still like, we will not mind having your signature. And that's what happened when Casemiro moved. And
Mm-hmm.
Tchouaméni came in there. It was like Cas never left. It's like it's plug and play to
Straight
say the
up.
very least. So
Straight up.
if I'm the day Deschamps, it's sweet, sweet dreams, sweet time. What a time to be a coach! What a time to be a manager, having your boys in such incredible form. Who else am I leaving now?
There's Theo Hernandez. Are you talking about the midfield?
I'm just looking at everybody. I'm looking
There's
at
Kingsley Coman. There's
aha.
Benjamin Pavard. You mentioned
Oh,
earlier.
did they
The
so have
defense line,
fun?
there's hopefully he gets to the World Cup. There's Rafa Varane. There is Ibrahim Konate. Oh, we have there's Dayot Upamecano, who has not been impressive to me this season, but
I mean, Konate's return from injury, I think, should also give a major boost for the back line, for the center line. He is relentless. He's fast. He's big. He's imposing.
yeah,
He's scary. Not in look. I'm just saying with the kind of numbers he's been dropping
and
for
he's
Liverpool.
gracious with the ball.
The way he, you almost always, if you're not careful, question the ages of these players.
Like
Not because of integrity, but like you don't play like
this, and
you're
you're
this
21.
young. You like it doesn't look like you're this young, and that is something that the French national team are boasting of: age, youth, maturity, experience, and talent for days.
And they have them in multiple folds, in all areas. They just talked about Reguloris. Reguloris has Ariola to talk about, to think about as well. Ariola has Lafont to think. Oh, come on, well, it is what it is.
Players for days,
Yes,
quality everywhere you turn. If you go and stumble in training, my dear, there's someone looking, waiting for you
ready,
to pluck your shirt out of your hands.
ready. So this is the perfect edict for Didier Deschamps. Apparently this is going to be his last outing with the French national team, and if rumors are to be believed, what did you say? You open his change his mind. You're going to change his mind, Didier Deschamps. Apparently, if I tell you the news, you are going to say like, okay, you can go. News flying around since yesterday and early this morning is that Zinedine Zidane has already had an agreement in principle with the FFP. That's the French Football Federation, the control, the management of the French team, to take over the reins once Didier Deschamps leaves in management at the end of the World Cup.
I still will not change my mind. Reason being, there's a reason why. I like to be seeing Zizou side playing week in, week out. If he takes over the French national team, that will happen. So,
well, I think my man is being very picky with his choices.
I'm not blaming more.
With the record he had at Real Madrid, it looks like if I go to club football, other club football, there was really
me. But really, I was actually looking forward to seeing Zinedine Zidane take up the mantle of a top side,
like the Juventus national team, and I said national team football
I'm
team.
not sure I wanted him with Juventus.
Why? Because you know his record is going to get ruined.
Not necessarily. I just think that they're different fits, not because of pedigree or anything. But I looked at the fact that where Juventus ready to spend the big bucks because a lot of something had to give,
Plenty things
we're going to give, like a lot of restructuring were going to happen.
Yeah.
I was looking like maybe a Paris Saint-Germain. I actually thought it was going to take that job ahead of Christopher Galtier, but I mean that didn't happen. I was looking like I just thought that for PSG now, if the net just won
top-notch manager,
an extra push, and if they get that caliber of coach that I think they should be on the lookout for. No insult at all to Christopher Garcia, but man did a back-to-back Champions League run victory, please. And
that's not
and you're telling me PSG are looking to buy the Champions League trophy for how many? And they've not been able to. They can afford it, but yeah, they can't afford it. And I thought that was just the extra thing they needed.
Well, it's how would I put it? It's a 50-50 thing. If you had signed for PSG and didn't get them to the Champions League final, not to talk of winning it, I don't want to think about what's going to happen to Zizou and his reputations after that. So moving on. So the star boy, the star man, the star player for the French national team, undisputedly has to be Kylian Adesomi. Or do you have anybody else?
Undisputed.
He's undisputed.
If Karim Benzema
is the current world best player,
is there.
Is the star player.
I think Kylian will have to line up behind him.
You think Kylian has to line up behind him? Okay, I'm
not going to. You call daddy and you call uncle for a reason. It is what it is.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
You can't even call. Would you call Benzema brother or uncle?
How would you call him uncle? It's bro. It's all bro. It's all bro. He has respect for
Karim. You line up.
Fine. We line up behind him on.
Excuse me.
What status? Okay, Karim has more. He has Champions League titles. He has
go ahead.
The Ballon. No, chill. You get why? Calm down. He has Champions League titles. He's about to kill me. He has Champions League titles. He has a Ballon d'Or, and he's miles ahead of Kylian Mbappe as it is. No, no arguments on that. But these are feats that we know Kylian Mbappe is going to match one day. It is.
We
It
know.
is with the right management, and I'm not only talking about football wise. I'm talking about personal wise. With the right management, Kylian Mbappe is headed up for there.
As it still
For you
stands,
to know,
line up behind.
Kylian Mbappe is the most valuable player.
But certain things that you just have to accept are bigger than you. You're talking about the Ballon d'Or. The accent is mixing,
Ah,
I know, but
I mean,
excuse you, bro.
I get you, I get you.
See, I
Fine,
love
okay.
Kylian
So
for
let's say
days.
the star player for the French national team
Benzema.
is Karim Benzema.
Yeah.
It's no more the KM, it's the KB. So it is what it
It's
is.
still K something, but this lineup.
That's by Mbappe is Mbappe, but you know, it is what it is. They are currently ranked, the Le Bleu, as they're properly called, are currently ranked fourth on the FIFA rankings. They're the fourth best team in the world right now. And the place I feel they should finish in the group stage is first. Anything below first is problematic. And let's see the semi-finals and the finals. How about you? Where do you see them finishing?
I expect to see them in the final. And not because I think other teams are going to not show up, but we've been extolling the quality, the caliber of players, the quality of coaching that the Le Bleu boast of. So I think that that should count for something. So I expect to see them in the finals. I expect to see them try, to come defend their titles, even though we know that it's not gone so great for some people in the past coming to defend their
Mm-hmm.
title. They sometimes come and they fall short of expectation. I don't expect the same
No
thing
one has
from
ever
them.
defended the World Cup
That's
title. So
so exactly.
I
They
don't
don't
know
even
the
just come
person.
defend it. It's always not
They,
humiliating, but almost close to it. They don't come good at all. But
they don't like the Spain national team after winning the World Cup
2010,
2010. The next World Cup, the group stage,
2014
it was like knock around.
the German national
The
team.
German
The
national
list
team, they were
is
round
for
of they
days.
were eliminated at the group stage. It is bad.
So yeah,
I'm not hoping that for the French national team. I'm expecting them to win their third championship title in the World Cup title. I mean, because they've only won it twice in the 1998
with Didier
edition
Deschamps as a player,
as a
and
player
now he won
and
it
2018 as a
as a coach.
coach.
So
So I think he's trying to do it
can
back
you
to
do a
back.
double, bro?
I'll
We'll
be,
talk. We'll talk.
I'll be expecting that. Just in case you don't, this is their 16th appearance at the Mundial, which is like top for most of the other teams participating. And that should be that about the French national team. We want to see them go as far as they did the last Mundial. And let's say the impact Karim Benzema has to play, and the absence of N'Golo Kante and Paul
Paul
Labile
Labile.
Pogba is going to have on the team. Moving on, let's talk about the Danish national team. The Danish team are coming off their memorable Euros campaign where they got to the semi-finals, only to lose out to England after extra time. Um, just in case you don't remember, what made their run very, very fascinating was that if you remember Starman Christian Eriksen, who represents Manchester United right now, um, this guy scared all of us, scared the footballing world when he had an out attack in their very, very first game against Finland, and it was not looking nice, but gloriously and happily and thanks to God, he was resuscitated by the medical team, and I still give kudos to those guys. Whenever I think about that incident, I give kudos to these guys. And if not for the fact of quick response, it could have been something else. But thank God, I can't thank God enough. Christian Eriksen is back playing fantastic football, and yeah, this is a big addition to the Denmark team. And if you ask me, I'm not seeing them. But I say the dark horses because what they did at the Euros after their star man was injured and out of the whole competition, they still found themselves in the semi-finals. They were very unlucky not to get to the finals, but they did their worst, and it was amazing. It was okay. What do you think about the Denmark national team?
For them, I mean, you already talked about the that panic the footballing world had, seeing Christian Eriksen having heart attack, and that was so scary. I wasn't
Yeah.
watching the game live. That was one game I actually skipped in the years, and I was really knackered. But I was scrolling on my phone, trying to keep tab on the game. Then I was hearing the game suspended, is old, is on, like different stories and different media houses were just trying to give us update on Twitter and all that. I'm like, bro, what's happening? I was like, my mind was going 60 miles, 300 miles per minute, and all that. Shout out to Simon Kerr.
Yeah.
It was a
Ooh.
rock in that situation.
That's captain material. He
That
gave it to us.
no, it was phenomenal. And what they did, seeing one of their biggest players out, and they still got to the semi-finals of
That's
the
like
Euros. That was a
it made it
massive run
fascinating.
for them because, unfortunately, I already thought that seeing Chris
Ericsson out.
Eriksen out, I thought, so sad to see you go, but this is the end of the road, bros. And they were incredible. They made me swallow my words.
They scored four goals consecutively.
I took the words back.
To
I was
the
like,
knock around, like
it's
how?
fine. I get it. You guys have a point to prove, and prove they did. So shout out to them. So there is that, and seeing them here in France, they have been the boogie team for the France national team. So maybe they're going to get something off of them. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. But
Yeah.
player for player, I don't think they match up to what the Leblanc are bringing on. But it is football. There's a reason why I'm not going to rule out any team and off the top of your head and go like, nah, this one no reach. If you feel no reach for your face, but on the pitch is where they play the game, and I expect them to give us something great this World Cup. I expect them to give us something nice. I expect that Eriksen in it's been quite the movement from him from Inter Milan at the time of the Euros to Brentford. I didn't see it coming, that transfer, and now to Manchester United where he had wanted to be for a while and all that stuff. I mean, moving away from Tottenham and all that. So game on, and I expect to see quite a bit from them. Off the top of my head, I expect that second place finish in this group because of the fact that the French national team are there. So second place minimum, and I expect to see them. Worst case scenario, quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, worst case scenario. That is our analysis on the Denmark national team, and she literally said everything that I wanted to say. So I don't think I have any extra things to say other than the fact that I'm happy that Christian Eriksen is back alive, playing fantastic football. Had a beautiful assist in the penultimate game for Manchester United, and I want him to continue that and let us see what he's going to do at the World Cup. Just in case you don't know, Kasper Jolmand, I don't know, is Jolmand? Kasper Jolmand is their manager. He's Danish, and he's been in charge of the team for the past 2 years now. And Simon Kerr, Simon Kerr. Simon Kerr is the captain. The captain, fantastical. Just we have, as we said, players to watch for them. We have Christian Eriksen, he's a midfielder, plays for Manchester United. We have Andres Christensen, he's the defender, plays for Barcelona. We have Pierre-Emile Odberg, who doesn't know how to score any goals. Fantastic goals. Fantastic goals.
Can attest to that fact.
We have Martin Braithwaite, the former Barcelona man, plays for Espanyol now. And we have the guy, the Nigerian to an extent, Philip Onyewu Billing. I'm not putting the middle name as his.
There's a reason why you did. His name. There's a reason why you did.
That's his name, Philip Onyewu Billing. He plays for Bournemouth FC right now.
Having a great time for them.
Having a great time. Was nominated for the October Player of the Month, and deservedly so too. He plays for Denmark national team, and undisputedly their star player has to be Christian Eriksen, who we want to see at the World Cup. They are currently ranked 10th on the FIFA ranking, and as like she said, she expected them to finish second or third same year. They nicknamed the Reds and White, and this is their 6th appearance at the World Cup. Their best outing was at the quarterfinals, the 1998 World Cup, where the French national team won, and now they're in the same group. So
let's see if they can match that.
Let's see if they can match that. On to the next team, which is the Tunisian team, like the African team in the only African team in that group. So the Eagles of Carthage, as they are popularly known, are one of Africa's footballing underachievers. With just one AFCON win to the name, which they won on home soil back in 2004. This is like 18 years back. Whew, something. The first African Arab country to get a victory at the World Cup back in May 78 after beating Mexico. I've also failed to qualify from the group stage in the last 5 outings, which is very, very dismal. And I hope they change How they change their
They would be looking
fortunes.
to change that this time around. Would they be able to, seeing the people they are paired with? Uh, Typically, I mean, we always do Group D as Group of Death, and
Mm-hmm.
for the Tunisians, yeah, it might look like so because uh, for France in front of you, you have Denmark in front of you. Let's see, you're already sweating before you get on the
I
pitch,
swear.
like so.
I'm imagining myself.
Guys, let's try and reduce the damage. But I know that that's not the way it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen underdogs get maximum points off of the bigger boys. You've seen
Mm-hmm.
the whitewash of bigger boys from lesser teams. But in
Mm-hmm.
football, there's also a thing as pedigree, and I think that where they are paired, the people they are paired with, there is that. So, and I think it has to be a major
Mm-hmm.
boost for them of going by the fact that
Mm-hmm.
if they it's not if they are considered one of the underachievers in African football history, but they defeated one of the powerhouses in African football
In
in
Nigeria.
Nigeria at the AFCON of this year.
But they got
So,
themselves beat before they got to the final. So
but they
our
beat
head cashed
Nigeria.
them.
They beat. They can still hold it like that at all. At all, we can tick this one off. But let's see if they can do that. The game against Nigeria wasn't the best of football games.
Mm-hmm.
Did they get the results? Yes. And
Yeah, they
let's see
did
if they
get
can
away.
take that mindset into the next round of games. I think it's going to be a tough task defeating the people that they have paired around them. But never say never. It's football.
Yeah, it is football. Perfect analysis from the I'm not going to forget. Don't remind me.
I won't
Don't
be doing
remind me.
any such thing.
Yo, I'm trying to remember I carried the generous one. Perfect analysis from she just talked about the Tunisian national team and their woes on the international front. Even in the house back in Africa, they have been trying to live up to their billings, but it has not been what it is. So just in case you don't know, Jalel Kadri is a Tunisian, is the manager. This is the 11th month he's been in charge of the team. He's 50 years of age. The captain is Yusuf Msakni. I beg your pardon, Msakni. I really don't know your face, but I know you captain the Tunisian side. Please do well at the World Cup, I beg. For the Africans, please. They have Wabi Kazri, plays for Montpellier. He's 31, he's a forward. You have Animal Mejbri, the Manchester United loanee, who is at Birmingham City right now.
Of which he actually did shine the few times he came on for United.
I'm going like Animal Mejbri is a boy to watch.
Absolutely.
He's a boy for the future, honestly. We have Omar Rekik, is 20 years of age and is one hell of a defender, if I ask me. The star player is undisputedly Wabi Kazri. 24 goals for the national team, 8 short of the all-time record. Is not definitely going to be getting this at the World Cup. Against who? Wabi Kazri against who?
I believe in you. I think you can do it. I think you can achieve it if you set your mind to it.
Maguire and
I think that
Alcantara is
if
working.
you spread your goals, you don't have to do 8 in one game. It's fine. Just pace yourself. You do 2 here, you do 3 here, and then you don't have
Do the hat-trick against France. Let us see how we're home.
absolutely doable. I believe in you.
You're currently ranked 30th on the national team, and I beg your pardon. They're
On the
currently
world
ranked
log.
30th on the FIFA ranking. They're number 30 right now, and this is their 6th appearance at the World Cup, and the 3rd or 4th position I'm saying is the best place they can get. Probably if they get the opportunity to finish as best
The
losers,
best loser, in fact,
I'll be glad. And like I said earlier, this is their like 6th outing. And the previous 5 outings have always been group stages.
They've never gone out of it. So it would be nice to, to break that jinx and get out this time around and, just put African football on the continental map and, just paint it quite well. We know the powerhouses in African football, but they also qualified. They've won the AFCON, so which is the biggest African football tournament. Yeah. Even if it is once, some people have never got to the top.
Save you. Because I was going there, say even they won the AFCON.
They have won it.
18 years ago.
They have won it. They qualify. So you guys, I have faith in you. Make us proud. We have only just 5 African teams here, so it would be nice to see how far everyone can go. Yeah.
No problem. That is the analysis on the Tunisian national team. So let's go to the last team on the the last but not the least. And actually, they start with A, so we were meant to start with there. But apologies, Australia. So the last team I just let the cat out of the bag is Australia. The Socceroos. What a nice spot one too. Just in case you don't know, soccer and the kangaroos, because of their what's it called?
Their climate.
The climate, and that's the animal we see the most in Australia. The Socceroos, who are competing in their 6th World Cup, have failed to impress in 5 of them, with their best outing being in round of 16 appearance at the 2006 Korea Japan World Cup. before losing out to 1-0 to eventual champions Italy. I remember that match. Italy never deserved to win that game because that penalty was extremely controversial. It was extremely controversial.
It have go.
But it's still something. But it is what it is. I remember my boy Tim Kayo. My guy was all in tears. Kayo, it is well. It is well. They have, however, failed to replicate that in subsequent mondials and will be open to have a memorable campaign in Qatar later this year. I hope they have. I hope they do, and I hope it comes to pass. Just in case you don't know, Graham Arnold, not Graham Potter or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Graham Arnold is Australian. 4 years in charge of the national team. He's their gaffer and is 59 years of age. How well do you see Australia doing this World Cup?
Well, let's see. Really, I really don't know where I see them, and unfortunately for them, it's not like they boast of the biggest football stars. You know, if you had that one pushing power or two or three, but shout out to them, they got here, they got this far, and let's see how they do this time around. In this group where they are at, I think that if they finish third, it's going to be huge.
Huge.
It's going to be very
huge.
Third, it's going to be very huge. But well, let's see. Matthew Ryan plays for Copenhagen. Copenhagen had quite a time in this year's Champions League. They have to find their way back.
We're just waxing a record about them.
They have to find their way back home. I mean, you got annihilated first leg against City, but you're like, our home here, we're not conceding. We know they give that kind of energy.
And it wasn't goal, and he kept the clean
sheet. They took on Dortmund as well. Fought tooth and nail for that draw and got it. It wasn't enough to push them to the next round, enough to take them to the Europa League either. But I think they can be proud that when this Champions League, we didn't roll over for any of those teams. They showed us their quality, but we also matched them with grit and guts as well. So shout out to them for Aaron Moy. Celtic, they didn't have the best of times in this year's Champions League. They did better than their Scottish counterpart. Rangers.
So you can say that now.
But it is what it is.
Why now I was saying that you are tackling?
I felt bad for Rangers, so we can't don't kick him out when he's down and all that. So they also had to find their way back home, but a bit more pride than their counterpart, like I mentioned. So they have players, right? Not the biggest names that off the top of your head, it actually jogs your mind or jogs your memory and can remember. Oh, he plays for this team. He's the highest goal scorer here or there. They're boys, and there's also the fact that age as well, because they're biggest boys, the biggest stars are getting to the twilight of their career. So what they do this time around, it's quite a big deal that you're there in the World Cup. So you might as well do your best to actually prove to the world that there's a reason why you're here. So I expect that from them.
Perfect analysis again from her. And we have Matthew Ryan, as you said, the goalkeeper for Copenhagen. He's actually the goalkeeper for Australia too. We have Aaron Moy, we have Matthew Leckie, we have Garang Ko. Oh, that is the person I want to talk about. He's 18 years of age. Right now, he plays for Central Coast Mariners, but he has been acquired by Newcastle, and he's going to be joining them in the summer. He's a fantastic footballer, just in case you don't know. And in due time, we're going to say,
I think he's their biggest shining light.
He's the biggest youngest shining light. But if you want to ask me, their star players will be Matthew Leckie or Aaron Mohi. In between the two of them,
they have years in the team, years in the squad, experience like they have. In their 30s and all that. So let's see. You guys should come good. Don't roll over. Now I always like to give you some aspire to Maguire before we leave and all that stuff. So for Tunisia and Australia, you should don't fall my hand. Do not Bojumije. Don't fall my hand. Come good. You know that people that you're playing against are your senior brothers. On this stage, but you can also try and put some sand in their guy one way or the other. Just do your bit.
Alrighty, that is the analysis for the Australian national team, the Socceroos as it's popularly called, and this is the sixth appearance of the World Cup. Their best outing, as we mentioned before, was the round of 16 where they got knocked out by eventual champions Italy. Oh. So
the fact that they are here, Italy is not.
That is something. Italy not the word. Italy not the word. But it is what it is. It's football. It is what happens. Just in case you don't know and you've missed it, it's not bad. This is our YouTube channel. You can go back and check this video. This
live.
Is the
and to do well too. Check it out. We've done Group A, Group B, Group C, and if your team is not there, it's fine. You can always watch all of this and use it to console yourself. Which team? Nigeria is not
Ibrahim
there. We all
Adinho.
know this. We all know this. And
I'm a
someone conveniently
Brasileiro.
chose Brazil, chose
I'm
perennial
watching it from
champions.
Sao Paulo.
Very
Sorry,
mean.
from Sao Lagos, as I said the other time. Sao
Ah,
Lagos,
what a
yeah.
shame.
San Diego is not there. Sao Paulo is not there. Sao Lagos. You know what I'm saying? Nah, me. I don't want you know. Like I said before, when I first started the show, we have various players missing due to injuries in this World Cup. We have Paul Labile Pogba, we have N'Golo Kante, the new ones that broke out. Heung-min Son. God, why? Heung-min Son. Why?
So I saw, as I saw it, I just screamed, South Korea, because if you talk about players who carry their teams, who carry their country, Son Heung-min, of course, is also there. So injuries, it's so painful. Lukaku also, I think the Belgian national team would hate to have him out.
I
right
swear,
now.
Lukaku is literally out. The new one that broke out last night, Timo Werner, is out of the World Cup.
Bro.
I know you don't know.
Oh my days!
Timo Werner is out of the World Cup. He
Oh
has
my
a
days.
cruciate ligament. He's going to be out for like 4 months at the least.
Oh
There's
my
Reece James,
days.
there's Ben Chilwell. That was yesterday as well.
I need
There's
to
Kyle
recover from
Walker,
this
Calvin
news.
Phillips, Paulo Dybala. The
He's been
list
having
is
such a
endless.
great
Ronald
time.
Araujo, the list is endless.
He's been having such a great time for Leipzig, and you knew that massive addition to the German national team.
Straight up.
To that forward line, incredible stuff. Paulo Dybala, I'm still trying to deal with the fact that he's not there or he won't be available. You guys can make it. Race against time. You can.
Please don't listen. I'm going to go and break unnecessary bones, please.
I got the Maria as
Don't-
well.
Angeli.
I'm really sad. I'm really sad.
I don't want to finish this show on a sad note, so I want to smile and leave by saying my team is going to win the World Cup in Brazil. And just in case you don't know, this is the World Cup countdown, FIFA World Cup countdown. You're on to your guy Ibrahim Adinho. Ibrahim Adinho here for you. I don't know what she's thinking about. I don't know what she's talking about. This is SEETV live, and about a very nice time. We're talking about the Group D of France, Australia, Tunisia, and Denmark. And as we said, we can't wait for the World Cup to start. We are already in the month, and please stay safe because the World Cup is here. Don't get yourself too excited. We are here for it, and we are here for you. So, any last words about, okay?
I can just say that I'm trying very hard to not cry, seeing all this absence and omissions, but hey, we'll still play. We'll still play.
This is the price you pay
for the game. So, we love the game. Stay safe, stay well. Keep it locked right here on SEETV. Adios.
Bye-bye. See you guys. Ibrahim Adinho out. I don't care what you want to say.
Ibrahim
Adinho.
Feisty and fiercely contested games of football we have seen so far this season, and many more to come. Surely, the champion put your football knowledge to the test. You stand a chance to win up to 5 gigabytes of data. All you have to do is to follow us across our social media. Feisty and fiercely contested games of football we have seen so far this season, and many more to come. Surely, the champion put your football knowledge to the test. You stand a chance to win up to 5 gigabytes of data. All you have to do is to follow us across our social media.